Here we go. One of the things that we're going to start working with is Adobe Illustrator CS6. As we click on this, we're going to see up in the upper left-hand corner with a Mac, Illustrator, taking a little bit of its time. File, up across the top, you have a menu bar. Every time you look at the menu bar, you have submenus. On the left-hand side, you have a toolbox, arrow, direct select. Here, selection. As you hover over, you get a post-it note that also gives you a shortcut. Pen tools, line, rectangle. If you notice this little triangle, that means if you actually hold it down, you'll get other options as well as what's showing you on the screen right away. We're going to go to File, New. You can name this your name. Let's say student first name. That helps me identify who you are. Right now we're just working with a number of artboards as one. We can go into custom size, let's say letter, because that's what our printers print out for the most part. You can do portrait or landscape, and that works completely fine. Right now we're in points, but as you look down you can see inches gives you an 11 by 8.5, and that's okay. So we're going to hit OK. This is your print space for the most part. If I unscroll all the way out, you will actually see what looks like a giant gray rectangle. Some of your computers might show black or white, but this is our work table. You can actually create lots and lots and lots of working things and components and leave them in that gray area, and they won't actually come into that direct area, and that's great for us. So as we're looking around in Illustrator, what you should know is that this is a mathematical program, and as we create certain shapes, for example, let's say a rectangle, it is filled in white and it has a black rubber band. And I can say that to you because over here I have white as a fill and a stroke, which is what I will call the rubber band from time to time. I can switch those, and if I select this and switch it, you can see now it's actually a black fill and it's a white stroke, but we can't see the stroke because of the white background. If we decided to change this, we could say it's a red rubber band, and if I click off of it and I scroll in, you can actually see that there's a teeny tiny itty bitty red rubber band. I can actually increase the stroke width, and you'll see that even more so. Because every option on the left is going to have sub-options at the top, you have to learn to read and navigate around your way in Illustrator and take your time. Let's make another shape. So I'm going to copy this one and copy paste this one. So now I have one shape in front of the other. This one has a red rubber band. If I switch those, now I've got it a little different. Not a big deal. Maybe I don't want a rubber band at all, or maybe I want it to be, let's say, we'll go yellow or blue. Blue is nice. This would actually take away the stroke and you only have a solid shape. Sometimes that's nice. We want to use that from time to time as well. So know that that option is there. You can always change your options. Right now it's saying, I don't know what to do because you've selected everything. Whenever you click and drag, you can select more than one object, more than one shape. This is going to be some of the factors that we use to create logos in some different shapes. So if I actually create, let's put another shape, and then let's make another shape. Put this one down here. And why not? Let's throw in a star. I'll make a star. If I use my arrow up, I can make more points. If I use my arrow down, I can have less points and get my triangle. Let's just get a little wacky here. Why not? And we'll switch that around. And now I've got this object. Okay. What you should pay particularly attention to is that I call these rubber bands because really what it is, it's called a path, and you can see that the word comes out path. I call them rubber bands because these anchors act a little bit like pins, and this acts like a rubber band, the path. If you come over here under your pen tool and you hold, you will get options such as add an anchor, delete an anchor, and convert an anchor. These will help us change and shift that path, and it will kind of snap into place. So if I actually go into delete an anchor and I hover on that anchor, snap. It looks like it's snapped out, and it takes it out. So you're able to actually manipulate your space quite effectively and turn these objects into something totally different. And you might like it, you might not. It won't let you do what you don't want to do. So we ended up with a crazy little shape. Let's go into add an anchor. So if I would like to add an anchor and I use my direct selection tool, I can actually select this one anchor and I can change this shape. This is very effective. I have to click and drag. I have to click and drag into the shape. And that helps me define some of the geometric edges. But if you want a curved edge, this is a convert and anchor. So now I've done something kind of interesting to this anchor. And as I pull that apart, I want to be able to curve it and change it. I get these awesome little torquey handlebars that can kind of twist and stretch that rubber band. And I can move that shape to the way I would like to see that grow. I can then also, while it's still active, move that handlebar to make it a short, high kind of bend, or vice versa. Graphic designers use Illustrator today because there is no loss of resolution. No matter how far I zoom in, you will never see pixels because this is a mathematically based program. As I pull this shape over, maybe I like it, maybe I don't. I can copy, I can paste it. Now I have several. And like I said, in that workspace, I can actually just move it to the side if I don't want to use it at all. It's like cutting out pieces of paper, and I can do what I want, when I want with it, when I feel like it. Maybe I want to pull this one in with this one. Okay. Right now it's behind it. I'm going to use the black selection tool so I can actually change the whole size of that shape. And I'm going to place this kind of in front because it's a neat little shape. I'm going to select both of those shapes. And under Window, you have to have Pathfinder open for this next nifty little tool that you'll use for making logos. In the shape mode, you have Unite, Minus Front, Intersect, and Exclude. And it's very simple to just try it and see what happens. So if I actually want to exclude, you can see where in the middle disappeared. And I'm going to Command Z for undo. I'm going to take this section and I'm going to Command Z undo. I can minus the front, Command Z undo, or I can combine them together and Command Z undo. So it really depends on how you'd like to intersect these shapes, because perhaps I want this one involved as well because I like that little sharp edge. I can pull them all together and I can try to see what's going to happen. Does it work what I need it to work? So it's not going to happen. And ooh, that's kind of cool. And you have lots of things going on. But maybe all in all, I just wanted to join them all together because really this is part of my logo shape that's going to happen with my characters. I don't want that black stroke anymore, so maybe I'll take that off. And now I end up with something like this. It's very clean and precise. At that point, when I'm ready, I can actually introduce text. But text will be the next lesson. Right now, we're just working with the Pathfinder tool and kind of understanding some basics of selection tool, direct selection tool, your shape tool. If you hold down, you'll get multiple shapes. You have the anchor, the pen, the anchor, the delete, and the convert. The regular pen tool allows you to actually draw shapes in, and as you join them up, they can kind of get a little confusing. So just be aware that drawing with a pen isn't exactly what you think it might be. It doesn't work like a regular pen. I'm going to delete that. And of course, you can do line segments if you'd like to try it. And you're messing with the fill and you're messing with the stroke to kind of get started. Those are your basics. You also have Window to navigate. You're looking at color, you're looking at Pathfinder. Those are some of the basic ones that we're working with right now. And as you save this, you're going to File, Save As. You'll put your name will be in there first, and you should keep it as an Illustrator file so that you can save it and keep working on it as an Illustrator file. If you don't, you can compress it down when you're ready for email, and that will be a separate lesson again. So remember to keep this as an Illustrator file so you can keep working on your folders. That's a lot to go over right now. I'm going to delete some of these things before I close this up, and if you notice, this is still there, even though it doesn't look like it should be, but it is. Anytime you can't find something, double check your color, because if you're white or clear, you won't be able to find it. You just want to be able to hover over it. And that way you can pick everything up. Okay, that concludes this section. That's going to get you started. Have fun.